What's going on, guys? Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to Stateside Footy. And of course, today it is World Cup 2026. It is the final. Spain meets Argentina. And let me tell you, this tournament has been absolutely fantastic. It's actually been one of my favorite tournaments, probably my favorite since 2014. You have the storylines, you have the drama, you have the upsets. You had fans pissed off at the United States. You had, there was just so many different multitudes, so many different storylines, and of course, let's just understand that Argentina getting to a final, being essentially led by one dude, getting to the position where they can actually defend their title, and of course, Spain. This kind of feels like Spain of 2010, where they have been absolutely dominant. And just, this is, for me, this doesn't get anything better than this. Now, granted, I did get the final four correct. I had the final four teams correct. I just didn't have the final right. I had France v. England. And of course, they met up for the gold medal match yesterday. The bronze medal match yesterday. And with England getting their best finish in a World Cup since 1966, since the year they won it. So congratulations on the bronze medal for all of my friends over there across the pond. Wasn't exactly the way you turned it out to be, but at least it's better than nothing. But that being said, today is all about Spain. Today is all about Argentina. What could possibly be Leo Messi's final World Cup, Leo Messi's final international appearance, although I probably assume that Argentina is probably going to have him go out down there in Buenos Aires. Post World Cup, so you never know exactly how that's going to turn out. But that being said, this thing is going to be absolutely fantastic. Why, by the way, am I wearing a Spurs shirt? Because we have three in the final today. Of course, Pedro Porro, Cuti Romero, and Marco Senesi. So listen, man, got to represent the way that you got to represent. Let's see. We have Del Morva 9877 says, "Let's go Spain." All right. Fair enough. And of course, I want to thank those that are tuning in on TikTok Live as well, too. The link is in the description. Speaking of which, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell as this channel is growing. And, it absolutely takes you nothing to hit that subscribe button. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. I think somebody asked why they were singing the American national anthem, because it is a World Cup final in New York City. Of course, they were going to sing the national anthem. We do it before every single sporting event. It just is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Spain's starting 11. Brought to you in part by, no, I'm just playing. So it's going to be Luis de Fuente. He's going to come out in a what's essentially going to be a 4-2-3-1. In net today will be Unai Simon, and of course he has had himself an absolutely stellar tournament so far. The outside backs today will be Marc Cucurella, who recently transferred to Real Madrid from Chelsea, and of course my guy Pedro Porro, who's going to be on the outside right, hailing from the only team that matters, which is Tottenham Hotspur. The center back pairing today will be Pau Cubarsí, and it looks like it's going to be Aymeric Laporte. And of course, the center back pairing has been absolutely brilliant this entire tournament. And as a matter of fact, I think Spain is the first in goals conceded. They really haven't conceded too many goals this tournament, so there you go. Wearing the captain's armband in the midfield double will be my guy Rodri. Of course, he plays for Manchester City, and it's going to be these three guys. It's Rodri, Laporte, and Cubarsí, who have literally been the engine in this Spain side. Obviously, it starts with Rodri. He's the quarterback of the entire show. And just the way that Rodri's been doing this years for Manchester City already, and let me just tell you, it's still the same here in this World Cup. His midfield partner will be Fabian Ruiz, and then we get into the attacking four. And I know this morning there was a lot of people asking if this might be the match where Nico Williams gets a start. It is not. It's going to be Alex Buena, who's going to be off the left. Your boy Lamine Yamal will be off the right. Dani Olmo will be underneath. as the number 10. And then up top will be Mikel Oyarzabal, who has had himself quite the brilliant tournament so far for Spain. Now, let's go ahead and turn our attention to Argentina. And it looks like Lionel Scaloni will be coming out in a 4-4-2. In net today will be Emiliano Martinez. Of course, he comes from Aston Villa. On the outside, on the right side from River Plate will be Gonzalo Montiel. And off the left will be Nicolas Tagliafico. And both of those guys have actually played pretty well. I thought that might be a weakness for Argentina, but no, actually it's been pretty solid. The center back pairings today will be Lisandro Martinez from Manchester United, and of course Cuti Romero from my beloved Tottenham Hotspur, and that back four has actually been pretty sturdy. Now for the midfield four, on the left-hand side will be Nicolas Gonzalez from Juve, and Rodrigo de Paul, who is playing with Inter Miami CF with Leo Messi. And then, of course, the midfield pairing will be Enzo Fernandez from Chelsea, and then Alexis McAllister from Liverpool. Up top will be Julian Alvarez, and playing underneath, of course, wearing the captain's armband, is the never-aging Leo Messi. Let's see. Let's pull this up one more time. On the bench, I believe, today for Spain. Let's take a look at it. David Raya and Johan Garcia are the keepers. Eric Garcia, Marc Pubil, Marco Llorente are your defenders. Your midfielders off the bench will be Alejandro Grimaldo, Gavi, Martin Zubamendi, and Mikel Merino and Pedri, and also Yeremy Pino. And your attackers will be Borja Iglesias, Fernan Torres, Nico Williams, and Victor Munoz. For Argentina, off the bench will be Geronimo Rulli and Juan Musso are your keepers. Defenders are going to be Facundo Medina, Marco Senesi, Nuhal Molina, Nicolas Otamendi. Your midfielders will be Ezequiel Palacios, Giovanni Lo Celso, former Spur, Giuliano Simeone, and Leandro Paredes and Nico Paz, Thiago Almada, by the way, and then Valentin Barco. Those are your midfielders, and attackers Jose Lopez and Lautaro Martinez. And I totally forgot that Nico Paz was a part of the equation for Argentina. Very good young attacker right there. All right, let's see exactly where we are here as we're getting close to kickoff in this one. Let me know what you guys feel, how this game is going to go. I thought this through essentially since yesterday as I was kind of gearing up for this final. Me personally, I think Spain's going to win this one. I think it's going to be a 2-1 type of affair. And I think we saw what Argentina, how they treated that semifinal like a World Cup final against a team that I actually thought was better than them. And you saw exactly how they played it out. They were patient, and in that final 20 minutes, they were able to put together what they needed to do to get to that final. Never truly out of it, never really breaking. And I would probably assume that today is going to be more of the same. And I actually think that Spain is actually going to get quite the contest from Argentina. Of course, they're defending their title. But again, I do think that this Spain team reminds me of Spain 2010, where there's absolutely no weaknesses on the pitch whatsoever. From that standpoint, when you look at their first, their second, their third option off the bench, all of those dudes are absolute killers to a point where, it's going to be interesting to see exactly how Argentina are going to be able to defend the wings as well, too. That was actually an area, especially off that left side, where England had a little bit of success there in that first half. And so you would probably assume on both sides, whether that is going to be Yamin Lamal or Mr. Buena off that left side, you probably would assume that you're going to see a lot of 1v1 duels. You're going to see a lot of central passes, trying to work it from from left to center forward, but we'll see exactly how this one plays out. This Spain team is just so good. It doesn't necessarily matter where they are on the pitch. They're just so good. One touch passing, that stupid midfield tiki-taka style of play. Unfortunately, you just can't defend it. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. But definitely let me know exactly how you feel about this one today. Who do you got winning? What is your score line? And tell me exactly who your man of the match is going to be. So it's going to I don't know, like a big part of me thinks this might be, like a Yamin Lamal, type of day. You know what I mean? We haven't necessarily seen him put together that, that performance, that standout performance as we saw a couple years ago when, he first came on the scene in Euro 2024. But, a big part of me thinks that this might be one of those type of days where maybe Argentina is, are going to be potentially keying in on, Mikel Oyarzabal or maybe even a Dani Olmo, where, you might see Yamin Lamal just, cut in onto his dominant foot and all of a sudden have himself a game. I don't know. By the way, Spain is a -160 favorite in today's game. So if you guys are degenerate gamblers, head on over to DraftKings and lay your money down. God damn it. Let's see. Sam says Spain is going to be a 3-2 winner today. Yeah, that's kind of the same that I had as well too. I kind of had that same feeling as well too. Yeah, I got it 2-1, but it's, we're talking the same language here. But man, oh man, I'm looking forward to this one. As all the cool pageantry, all the pregame festivities are done, as the field crew is taken off all the stuff, I guess, off the field, and we are gonna get ready for this kickoff. But before I go, man, before we get into it, let me know what your guys' favorite part about this World Cup. Was it the fans? Was it the Scottish fans that essentially drank Boston dry? What is it? Was it the US fans and global fans falling in love with the Norwegian fans as they rode their Viking ship to the quarterfinals? You know what I mean? I'm kind of curious to know exactly what your favorite part of this World Cup was. For me, I think it's a few. Definitely the Scottish fans and the bagpipes and Boston bars. I thought that was pretty cool. I liked Cape Verde and the fact that we were able to get out of the groups. I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah, England versus Mexico down in Estadio Azteca. That one I'm going to remember for quite some time, man. Absolutely. So Robin, Yavan and Percy. I like that name, by the way. Let's see. Dan Davenport says, let's go Argentina. All right. That sounds good. Good afternoon, Danny. I hope you're doing well. And then he says, any news on Pochettino's future yet? Looks like you're ready to name Pochettino the head coach of England. That's what it sounds like to me, Dan Davenport. But what I will say is that we will know next week. Pochettino was heavily involved in the hiring process of Steve Cherundolo, who was named the U23 Olympic coach for the U.S. And if you and your coaching staff are being involved in coaching hire, it means you're laying the groundwork. I wouldn't be surprised if Pochettino comes back for 4 years. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But next week. So let's see. What team is my jersey? My beloved Tottenham Hotspur. We got 3 playing in the final today. Dogum2 says 2-1 Spain. All right. Good to see that one. Good to see you, Dogum. As we are getting set here. As we are actually underway here. As we are 15 seconds into the half, and Spain will hold possession here as this one makes it all the way back. And Spain now will set up as this one goes back to Simon. as this one is going to get played forward. Danny Olmo will play this one off as it makes its way back to Pedro Porro. And, of course, your boy Porro has told suitors, nah, I'm good. I'm staying at Spurs. As the sun will make its way down the left-hand side. Cucurella is making a little run down the left side. Olmo will play it in. And here's Mark Cucurella. As here's Ruiz now, as they're going to work this one to the right-hand side. And there's going to be a whistle as Pedro Porro will get called for the infraction here. As it looked like Gonzalo stepped right in front of it to take that pass away. As this one will go back to Martinez. Look at me with the pronunciations. As here comes Argentina playing down the left-hand side. Oh, nice little nutmeg right there. As Alvarez now will play this one back as he dropped deep to make a touch. And there's Messi just standing there. Not exactly the greatest pass. And they'll have to play this one. And now they're going to try to search down the right-hand side. And that one's going to have to go back again as Spain is eating up space as Martinez has to get rid of that one quickly. And here we go. As Spain will cross the halfway. Here's DePaul. And they're going to have to play this one back again. As Argentina holding possession in their half. As it looks like they're trying to figure out a way to carve through Spain's, I guess you can say, press. More like midfield. They're not really given a lot of space here. As this one will make its way out. So Spain will actually have the throw in now. And I'm just hoping this one lives up to some of the greatest World Cup finals that I've seen in my lifetime. Some of the more classic matches. As this one will go long. And it looks like there's going to be a whistle here. Yeah, Spain's going to get the whistle. And Montiel is going to be the guilty party. And it does look like he got his arm hooked on Buena. As Rodrigo de Paul is trying to argue his case, but nonetheless, Spain will get the whistle. As play resumes, as Rodri will start things off. There's a pass in. That's a good pass into Dani Olmo. As Olazabal will make it off to Yamal. Yamal will drive this one in. Takes a bounce. Here's Yamal. Oh, what a save by Martinez. He actually didn't have much on it, but what a play. What a combination play as Olazabal would find Yamal. Yamal tried to actually pass it central. It takes a deflection, and Olmo just played it right back to him. But Yamal had nothing really on that shot. And there's a turnover high. Here's Rodri. Plays it in. Yamal again tries to center it. Good defense by Argentina. But look at Rodri. Takes it away. As Yamin will chip this one back. Messi doesn't get to it. But Alvarez does. And now Messi's free. Ooh. And so Simone came out to play the ball. As that was actually kind of a dangerous play right there. As Simone came way out of his box to get that one. He gets the better of Messi on that one. But Messi broke free. Good defense right there by Spain. And it looks like Spain's throwing the first haymaker today. As Ruiz will play this one back. As Spain's inching forward here. And it's off to the left-hand side. As Cucurella made a run, Buena said, that's no bueno. Here's Yamin Lamal. Or is it Lamine Yamal? Whatever, man. I always get. He's one of those names. It's one of those names, man. Here's Pedro Porro. And he's going to have to lay this one back, and Spain will play this all the way back to the keeper, and they will try to reset here. 6 minutes into the first half. Today's match is brought to you in part by Michelob Ultra. A clean, crisp, cool Michelob Ultra. It tastes like piss in a bottle. As here comes Spain now. Here's Rodri. And Rodri's got acres in front of him. As this one will go to the left. Not exactly the greatest pass, but there's Marc Cucurella. I am so happy that Cucurella is out of the Premier League now. Good Lord. What was worse is he played for Chelsea. And oh, wow, there's a trip right there that goes uncalled. So here comes Argentina. That one's going to get out. So Spain will get the throw in. I am so happy that dude's out of the Premier League. And what's worse, he played for Chelsea. Spain. That's a good pass forward. Here's Dani Olmo. And he's going to play this one up to the left. Not exactly the greatest pass as Cucurella tries to challenge it. Oh, what a play right there by Spain. Here's Lamal, Olazabal. And he tried to play it out right. Errant pass. And looks like Yamin's going to get whistled for the foul right there. As J-Lo, that's right, the J-Lo said that was a foul. What's going on, Jennifer? Welcome to the show, Natesky. My guy, RAFC TID, my homie. As this ball will get played long, Ugarasi will head it forward. And I have no idea what Ruiz was doing there, as I guess he tried to potentially pass this one back to Pedro Porro, except he missed Porro by a good 10 feet as that goes out. So far through the first 8.5 minutes, Spain really has looked quite nice, as Argentina has struggled a little bit against the Spanish press, as they really haven't gotten to a forward position to really test that back line, as this one will go out. And Spain, again, will have a throw-in. And there's our president, Mr. Donald Trump, along with Gianni Infantino, and it looks like Melania Trump is there. So welcome the Trump family to a World Cup final. As play will resume, as Simone will play this one long down the right-hand side, as Yamin Lamal will not have a shot as this one goes out. So it'll be an Argentina throw in here. When was, by the way, I got to look this up. I wonder when the last time, I think that might have been, 2022, where the defending champion got to a final. Yeah, because France won it in 2018, right? Yeah, there you go. So last World Cup final. There you go. I guess I answered my own question. As there's a shot down the right-hand side, looking for Yamal, and he's not going to be able to keep this one in play. We have Donkey in the room and Sanchez. 701. Where is the 701? Sanchez? As this one, I'm going to guess it's in California. That would be my guess. As here's Rodri. As Marc Cucurella will play it back. as that one will get out of bounds. So Spain will actually have the throw in yet again, as Montiel will get his foot on it. 10 minutes have elapsed here in the first half. Here's Pedro Porro, and looks like there's the switch to the left side, as Bueno will come down to it. Cucurella will play it off to Ruiz. Now here's Rodri, and Rodri's got space to get forward here. Here's Ruiz. He's going to play this one in, and that's going to be chipped out right there. And so Spain will actually have their first corner. 11 and a half minutes into the first half. Absolute beautiful crowd today in New York City. Let me say, check that again, in New Jersey, right across the river. And I will say that this has actually been a very fantastic World Cup. My favorite since 2014. We had a cool little string right there. I thought, as this one will come down, Olmo trying to get to it, and that's going to take a pop out. But here's Dani Olmo, as he'll switch this to the right side. Here's Lamine Yamal, as that ball is going to take a deflection. It'll get out, so it'll be a throw-in for Spain. We had a nice little string right there. I thought 2010 and 2014 were excellent World Cups. 2018 was shitty because, we didn't qualify for it, so And 2022 was okay until you got deep into the knockouts. But this one was, a legit solid World Cup. 94, 98 were also excellent World Cups. Wasn't exactly a fan of the 2002 World Cup, although, we did get to the quarterfinals. So that was awesome. Let's see. Trump has no right to hand over the World Cup. Well, he does. So there you go. I do agree with you about the halftime concert. Yeah, I will agree with you on that. I think it's kind of ridiculous. And especially they're talking like 45 minutes. Yeah. As this ball will find Marc Cucurella. Here's Rodri. As this one will get moved over to the right-hand side. Here's Pedro Porro. That's a good pass forward. Looks like he was looking for Mikel Oyarzabal, as Rodri will head this one back to Pedro. And that was nearly lost right there. Look at that heads-up play by Rodri. Ooh, and Dani Olmo's down. And looks like play will stop here, as it looks like Dani Olmo suffered a gunshot wound off the right-hand touchline. He's fine. His ankle didn't roll. As Olmo still remains down. Just beat rival in the 1-0 in the El Clambico. That's a great name for a derby, the El Clambico. By the way, who is Rhode Island's rival? Let me know that. If they can't bomb it, they got to ruin it by turning into a show. Okay? I don't necessarily agree if they can't bomb it, but as this ball will make its way forward. How about you just enjoy the final? That would be my best advice. Enjoy the final, because this is a classic. This is going to end up being a classic. One for the record books. Leave all the other stuff for tomorrow, man. As this ball will make its way forward. Here's Messi. And Messi will hit the turf. There's going to be a whistle. And he automatically gets the whistle. As looks like Looks like Mr. Buena right there checks him in the back. So this will be a free kick for Argentina. Yeah, I kind of with you there. I wouldn't. I don't. I was not on board when FIFA said they're going to have a halftime show. You don't need one. And it looks like Rodrigo de Paul is standing over this free kick. And there it is, into the box. Oh, wow. Nearly got to it right there. As they were looking at the far post right there. Just couldn't bring it down, a little too far over the head. So it'll be a goal kick for Spain. As Spain have kind of dominated possession here through the first 15 minutes. Had a couple nice looks already. Here's Porro, and Porro's going to play this one long. Looking for Yamal. And that comes down to Lamine. Cuts in. There's a ball into the... Ooh, Olazabal was there. But so was Martinez. And he scoops that one. That was a dangerous ball in. What a move, too. Stops on a dime and just cuts back. As this one will go back to Simone. And he's got to get rid of it quick. And he does a smart thing and just plays it out. As Dangerous has joined us. And it looks like there are 6 Spanish flags. Something tells me he's rooting for Spain. And of course, for all my, UK friends that are probably rooting for Spain just off the rip, can't root for Argentina as this ball goes down the left-hand side. Takes a pop. Ooh. Nice defense by Pedro Porro. I'm curious. There was no whistle right there, was there? As Yamal realized that ball came popped up, home dude just literally wasn't even playing the ball. Was playing Yamal. I didn't mean to rhyme right there. Here's Ruiz. And there's Cucurella on the left-hand side. That's a good ball forward. It's Buena. Being blanketed by Cuti Romero. As that one will get out. Of course, Cuti subject to transfer rumors. As it all but feels like Cuti's time is done with Spurs. As this one gets popped straight into the air, we have a man down. As it is, Fernandez? As both he and Donny Olmo playing the ball. Looks like Olmo got to it first. Looks like home dude is milking it. Yep. As we were pushing the 20th minute here in the first half. Is that Matt Damon? Oh, it is Matt Damon. And his Argentinian wife. Let's see, BTTS, what is that? Cucurella se como la mataca. Both teams to score. Yeah, maybe. As this match is still scoreless, so that would be the natural progression, I would assume. As Yamal will play it off to Dani Olmo. That was a superb pass. That's tipped away as Messi will get to it first. as Romero has to lay this one off. Buena's closing. There's a deflection as that then will pop back off. Romero is going to get to it. And they're going to blow the whistle here as play will stop. Play will stop and reset for Argentina. As Romero will chip it forward. As that one will get out of play, so Argentina will do it again. Not a lot of attacking momentum for Argentina at the moment. Spain has pretty much shut it down as this ball will go forward. And here comes Messi now. He's got space. Messi will try to chip it forward. And they're going to say offside. And it looked like it was Gonzalez there that was trying to chip it down. I guess they're going to say this one was offside. As Argentina now will hold possession here as DePaul is trying to dribble his way out of trouble here. The positioning that Spain has defensively is just unbelievable. That's probably been the most impressive thing so far. As Argentina just has no room to breathe. As this one will pop its way forward. Here's Orzabal. As this ball now will make its way back to Spain. As here's Marc Cucurella. As Cucurella now will try to play one, and that's going to take deflection and out. And Spain will win themselves yet another corner. Yeah, I was a scout for a very short time. The first time around, I just was unlucky. As it was, less than a year. Front office changed. Yeah. No hard feelings. As this ball will get whipped in, there's Martinez. Second time around, again, for about 8 months. Not bad. Not a bad experience, but it's for me at least, it was unstable. I'd do it again though if the right opportunity came. As this ball gets popped back up, as Orzabal was chasing it. Here's Messi, as Messi tries to dribble between two defenders, and there is a whistle. As Messi thought he was going to get a call there. It was just good defense right there by Rodri. As we have paused for the first hydration break here, as we welcome Greg 1987, not entertaining first quarter of the World Cup final. Let me ask you a question though, Greg. Were you expecting fireworks in the first 20, 25 minutes? I knew there was going to be a little bit of a feeling out period here. Let's see. Colin says, I feel like the two best teams played yesterday. Listen, there's a reason why I had France and England in the final. Depth-wise, just total talent. I thought France probably was the best team. Second best team I thought was England. And you can understand why I had those two teams in the final. But, the funny thing about it was, France and England didn't play as the best teams in certain points of this tournament. And, tip your hats to Spain. They were the ones that were the most consistent. Consistency building into a tournament that's what it's all about. When you're playing across 7-8 games, that's exactly what the World Cup is all about. And those who are able to build into it and the ones that are the teams that are able to show the most consistency will probably be there at the end. And Spain certainly has done that. The interesting thing, though, and you can see it so far in this tournament, right? Like Argentina can't get bored in this match whatsoever, and you can understand, how Spain was able to shut down France. England should have pushed another 15 minutes to get that second goal. If you're in the 80th minute at that stage and you want to bring on a defender, okay, fair enough, man. You tried. But, the idea that you're going to bunker for 30 minutes against a team like Argentina, yeah. But they rebounded to get the bronze medal, so I guess congratulations. 10 goals in the third place game, that had to be a record. Yeah, I would probably agree with that as well, too. I can't remember another 10, a 10-goal game in the World Cup outside of that Germany-Brazil game in 2014. Is that Mickey Rourke? I believe it is. There's that one actor. I forget his name. I want to say maybe he was, I don't know, man. I forget his name. He's easily recognizable, though. I've only met like one actor I've actually ever liked. He was actually a pretty decent dude. It was Chris Pratt. As this ball will make its way long, and Kubarasi will head this one forward, and there's going to be a whistle, and this one will go against McAllister. Almost didn't recognize him. Actually, as a matter of fact, that actually went off McAllister's hand. As this one gets played back, nearly taken away by Argentina. Again, a very good play by Simone to save that one. And then Cucurella does a really good job playing it off. An Argentinian attacker right there. So Spain avoids a little bit of pressure there. Smart heads-up play there by Marc Cucurella. As Porro will play it off to the right. Here's Yamin Lamal trying to turn. Does. And does he get the whistle? Yeah, I think he does. Oh, yeah, 100%. Home dude stepped on his calf. As play resumes here. And it's Pedro Porro. As they swing this one all the way down to the left. Here's Rodri. I don't know. Has there been a midfielder as good as Rodri in this tournament? Curious to know what you guys think. Rodri has just been amazing. Here's Porro. As he plays one forward. As Orizabal can't get around. Actually, it was Buena. Couldn't get around. Cuti Romero, there's a turnover. It's Marc Cucurella. But stepping in front of it is Argentina, as that ball will go long and it gets cleared. As that'll make its way out. So Pedro Porro will have the throw-in. The interesting thing, though, is there's a lot of talk of potentially Pochettino taking control of Argentina. Here's Cucurella does a good job of heading it back to Simone as Rodrigo de Paul was there. But now here comes Spain quickly. And I don't know, man, to have a World Cup champion 4 years ago and then follow that up to get to a final again. There's a good ball in looking for Dani Olmo, and that one will get out for a goal kick. And, in your very next World Cup to get to a final, whether this is win or lose, I can't imagine there would be a change with Scaloni. I know that Pochettino would like to manage Argentina at least once in his career. I just don't know if it's going to be this next cycle. I could easily see Pochettino coming back to the U.S. for this upcoming cycle, return to club for his next job, and then after that, potentially go into Argentina, as that ball would try to make its way up to Yamin Lamal off the right-hand side. Good defense right there by Argentina. And here's Cuti Romero being kind of blanketed by Orzabal here. And somehow Romero gets the ball forward. There's a turnover. Here's Cucurella. Handing it off to Rodri. Oh, nice move to the baseline. Ball in. There is Romero. Good defense right there by Cuti. As this one will make its way all the way back down, and Spain will have to reset here. As this one will make its way off the right-hand side. Here's Pedro. We'll play it forward. As Orzabal gets shoved in the back, there's going to be no call. Here's Alvarez. And, of course, Alvarez, there was talk of him leaving Atletico Madrid, although those rumors got squashed quick. That's a good touch. Here's McAllister. And Rodri is going to get whistled right there, so this will be a free kick for Argentina. Pretty dangerous area here, as we're in the 32nd and a half minute here. Pretty good, a pretty solid spot here for Argentina. As they're going to play this short. Here's Messi as he tries to dribble around. Taken away right there by Spain. Here's Porro. As Porro's going to get clipped. Gets the whistle, so there's the restart. Good no-sell right there by Pedro Porro. There's Dani Olmo. As this will make it over to Rodri. Outside of that nice little flurry within the first 10 minutes, Spain has kind of been held in check a little bit. Couple set pieces, and that's pretty much been it. Credit to Argentina. They've done a nice job defensively. As we're approaching the 35th minute, about 10 minutes in extra time remaining here in the first half, so interesting to see what happens. As there's Cucurella now. Cucurella tries to play one in. That's going to take a deflection out. And they're going to say offside. Lauren MK. How you doing, Lauren? There's Aaliyah. I think Greg, 1987, I think he said it best. This actually kind of really is a boring first half here. As it literally has been, I guess, a little bit of a chess match for Spain. Especially in their attacking half, but Argentina really just hasn't done much. Spain has done a very good job of essentially closing it down. As Messi really hasn't been a factor here in this first half, as that one will be taken away by Rodri as that one goes out. And they're going to actually blow the whistle against Argentina there. Free kick to Spain. I don't know about that. Here's Pedro Porro. And that ball will go long. Trying to find Dani Olmo, but there was Cuti Romero. As this one's taken away by Spain. Here's Dani Olmo. Here's Marc Cucurella that he tries to backflip, play a backflip. That was very good defense right there by Argentina, and they're actually going to give the whistle for Spain as we see this one again. That just looks like a good tackle to me as play resumes. Here's Porro. Yamal. As Porro will just play this back. That's a good pass forward. Here's Dani Olmo. Out to Cucurella. Cucurella is going to try to play one in. That's going to take a hop off Cuti Romero's foot. There's a chip in. Good defense right there by Argentina. And Argentina will clear it. Rodri chases. And I think they're going to say this goes against Argentina. So Spain will hold possession. It did look like it. There was a potential handball against Julian Alvarez there. Here's Buenda. As he tries to make a pass there through traffic, no dice. As this ball will go long. Sniffing it out is Pedro Porro. So Spain will hold it in. They're attacking in. That's a good flick on. Here's Olazabal takes a shot. Good save by Martinez. As Olazabal had a nice little shot right at the top of the 18. Good little flick on by Olmo. As it just bounced right to Olazabal. Put it on it, but right at the keeper. Ooh, I got that spider. Ooh. As we're approaching the 40th minute here, 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Score is all even at 0. There's a ball that's going to go long as Buenda can't win that ball. As Argentina is going to try to move quick here. Let me retract that. They're going to play the ball back. And here's Messi. As it lays it off to Rodrigo de Paul. Argentina or Spain? Probably Spain. Here's Messi. Here's de Paul. As he tries to play it in, it'll take a deflection off of Cucurella, and Olazabal will take it away. And there's going to be a whistle and a yellow. That one looks like it'll go against Martinez. Yep. Yeah, Martinez got his leg between Mikel right there. 100% they're going to call that. Spain will hold possession here. 4.5 minutes remain here in the first. No score. Spain has held the bulk of possession here in the first half. Not really much to show for it. Credit Argentina. Their defense has actually been great. As Rodri will get the ball poked back to him, and he's going to have to play this one back. And here's Cucurella. As this one will make its way up. Here's Olazabal. Plays it forward. Here's Pedro Porro. Chipped it to the far side. There was nobody there. And Martinez will go out to recover this one. Nice little inverted run right there by Pedro Porro. There just was nobody there. As there's a turnover right there. Here's Yamin Lamal trying to play it forward. Takes a deflection. As it makes its way all the way back to Pedro Porro. Here's Cucurella. Off the left-hand side. He's going to try to play one in. Ooh, and he misses the far post. Ooh, that was nice. He just puts one on. And he misses it by a couple feet. Not a bad idea right there from Cucurella. Will Messi score? He hasn't had any touches. There you go. That kind of answers your question, Nathan. Yeah, Spain has pretty much taken Messi away in this first half. And as you can see, Argentina really hasn't shown much of a scoring threat. As it looks like Lisandro Martinez is down. And it looks like there's going to be a change here. As it looks like maybe Martinez is coming off here. And he is. Lisandro is coming off. And it looks like Otamendi will check on for Argentina. That's a shame. As it looks like Lisandro Martinez's World Cup will come to an end in the 44th minute of the final. As play resumes, and Martinez will play this long. As Olmo will pop this one straight up. As Yamal nearly got it past. As this one will take a deflection off of Pedro Porro, so Argentina will have a throw in here. Is that Victor Wembanyama? Is that Wemby? I believe that's Wemby. What's he doing back in New York? He got blitzed in the NBA Finals. Let's see. They shouldn't have tackled him. As we are at the 45. I'll let you know how much stoppage time there'll be. That's a good ball. That's over the top. But right there is Simone. 4 minutes of added time here at the end of the first half. As Messi gives a chase, but Simone will clear this one. Oh, that's a good play down the left-hand side. And that's taken away immediately by Pedro Porro. It's good defense by Pedro. Where was that defense last year, Pedro? As this one will make its way out off the left-hand side. Choosing to be a Spurs fan is crazy. Is it really all that crazy, though? I mean, it could be worse. I could be a Chelsea fan. As here's Rodrigo de Paul, and he'll lay this one off. Ball moves centrally, looking for Messi. And there's nothing there. I got a few irons in the fire today. That's why I wore the Spurs shirt. I don't necessarily care for either of these national teams, but I do have a little bit of a rooting interest. As we are just a few minutes away from what is sure to be a crazy halftime performance by, who is it today? It's Shakira. Dude, I knew it was going to be Shakira. Once it was announced, I was like, dude, it's either going to be Pitbull or Shakira. It's always one of those two. As here's Dani Olmo. Here's Ruiz, plays it off to Cucurella. As Olazabal gets his back pocket pick, and they're going to say there's a foul on Olazabal. As we're about a minute and a half away from Shakira. Yeah, they're going to say that he clipped Messi. A Yank supporting a British team. That's so funny. Why is it so funny? There's plenty of Americans that support British teams. I would probably say that the EPL's footprint in the United States is probably bigger than that in the UK. That just shows you how big the Premier League's around. We all got clubs over here. I just happen to be a Spurs supporter. That's all. Here's Pedro Porro. Nice little pass down to Yamin. And he gives it right back. This has been a first half. This has been a very good passing exhibition here in the first half. I do got to say that both teams have excellently passed the ball. And that's about it. There really hasn't been much of anything else. Here's Porro. He's going to play one down. Right there is his teammate, Cuti Romero. There's Harry Scarf. How you doing, young Harry? I hope you're doing well today. Curious about how you feel about today's final, as there is the halftime whistle, as both of these teams are knotted at 0. And again, a very good first half if you're into passing. Both teams have done a very good job of trying to find space, but really there was nothing really as far as attacking prowess on each side. Although I will say that Spain did try a few things early, but since then, there really hasn't been much of anything. Let's see. Greg 1987 says you're going over under for 1 billion people watching the final now. I think it's actually going to be over. I would probably say that I wouldn't be surprised if the end number is like something close to 8 billion people. That's what I'll say. Let's see. Are Messi and Rodrigo de Paul the only MLS players to start in a World Cup final? That's a very good question. Well, let's see. Yeah, because both Rodrigo de Paul and Messi weren't in MLS in 2022. Ooh, great question. Good question, man. Let's look it up. I think the answer is not that many. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. So this year, obviously, Messi and DePaul, but it was actually in 2022, in Argentina's winning side was Thiago Almada, was a part of that one 4 years ago. So that's pretty much been it. So there you go. Good question. Very good question. Spain is outplaying Argentina right now. I would agree with that. I would agree. But that being said, I mean, you're comparing apples to apples here because both teams have not really done anything in the attacking third. Spain has really been trying to shoehorn the ball into central areas where I thought like maybe a little bit earlier in the half, it looked like maybe they would have had success on the outside with Cucurella and Yamal. But they seem to have banded it. I thought we would see a lot of Yamin Lamal. Towards the end of that first half, we just didn't see enough of it. So it is what it is. If anyone hears from the US or the UK, please watch the video to support me. Okay. Spain is outplaying. Yeah, okay. So very boring. 3 shots total is ludicrous. I would agree. You're welcome, man. That's what I do for you, man. It was a great question. Let's go ahead and get into the stats in this one. Let's see. All right. So let's see. Spain's leading the possession battle 65-35. The XG battle, Spain's leading this one 0.23 to 0.00. Total shots, Spain 3, Argentina 0. Shots on target 2-0. Big chances, neither team has any. Accurate passes, Spain 313 to 155. Yellow cards, we'll get to that in a minute. Corner, Spain actually has that one 2-0. Let's see. XG on target, 0.46 for Spain to 0.00. So that's absolutely sad for Argentina. But I guess it goes to show you how great Spain has been defensively. Let's see. No block shots, no hit the woodwork. Shots inside the box 1. And for Spain, and shots outside the box 2. Passes total 348 to 196. Passes in the own half 171 to 114. Passes in the opposition half 142-41 to Spain. Accurate long balls 10-7 to Spain. Accurate crosses 1-0 to Spain. Throws are even at 9. Touches in the opposition box 7 for Spain, 0 for Argentina. And Spain has been offside twice to Argentina's 1. Yellow cards. Argentina has 1. Fouls committed, Argentina 9, Spain 7. Defensively in the tackle battle, Argentina finally leads the category. They lead this one 8-7. They also lead interceptions 5-4. No blocks for either team. Spain has 5 clearances to Argentina's 4. Keeper saves 2-0 to Argentina. The duel battle, Spain leads this one 24-23. Ground duels, it's 22-19 for Spain. Aerial duels, Argentina leads that one 4-2. And successful dribbles is 7 for Spain. And essentially what that says is that really when it comes to possession, when it comes to progressive ball movement, Spain has dominated. But again, when it comes to attacking third, when it comes to ideas, trying to unlock Argentina's back line, Spain is devoid of essentially any answer. And again, I thought this was going to be a little bit more played down the wings. I thought we were going to see a lot more pressure off the right side with Yamin Lamal. I thought we were going to see a lot of transitions to the left side as well too, and let Marc Cucurella take shots. And we actually did get a couple examples, but of course, centering passes into the box were essentially right at Cuti Romero. So not much when it comes to Spain's attacking third, but conversely, Argentina really has had nothing. And again, that just comes to the position that Spain finds itself in. They literally take away every single passing lane. And for the most part, Messi has been irrelevant in this first half. And, that is, by the way, that is how Argentina goes. When Messi goes, so does Argentina. They really do not have a secondary answer. And again, that's why I was actually surprised they made it this far, because, one team shows just, generally just don't do well in the World Cup. And I guess credit to Argentina, but when you're going up against a team that is that organized, that disciplined, and that skilled, that Spain is, you're starting to see exactly just how dominant and in control Spain is currently at right now. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how Scaloni plays the second half. But unless somebody's willing to step up, unless somebody's willing to grab this game by the scruff of the neck for Argentina, I would probably assume that Spain is going to get one, possibly two in the second half. Argentina will bend in the second half. Let's see. Trump hands Messi and Du Bois the trophy. American FIFA corruption complete. Okay. Spain playing Arteta ball this World Cup. It's more like Pep Guardiola ball than Arteta ball, but they're the same if you're actually asking me. Been on MASH recently, huh? Spain will win. Depends on cheating again. Okay. Well, if anybody's going to cheat for anybody, it'll be with Argentina, not Spain. Let's see. I think Poch Day is the formal announcement Thursday, leaked Wednesday. Yeah, I can see that as well too. Well, the interesting thing about this is that Pochettino and the staff were instrumental in the hiring of Steve Cherundolo for the U23s. And if you have one foot out the door, or if you don't want to come back, you're not going to bother. You're not going to bother in the hiring process of your Olympic coach. So that leads me to believe that Pochettino is laying the groundwork for the next 4 years. And once he gives his commitment, he's here for the next 4 years, which quite honestly, we don't have anybody domestically that is necessarily on that level. That's not to say they're not good fits, just the level of coaching. We don't have anybody that's on Pochettino's level. But the other thing is that, there's not a lot of good jobs out there for Pochettino to pivot to at this time. So from that standpoint, it makes sense for him to come back. Yeah, me personally, I think the U.S. are in good hands. Not to mention the fact that I want him to reshape the roster in this pool. There's a lot of players that we had that are soft that need to go away. So let's see, bro, Madonna performance right is throwback. What is Madonna performing? Like, I'm not even watching the halftime show. Because fuck all that noise. Like, Madonna's like 60 years old now. It looks like are the Muppets? Dude, the Muppets are playing. What is this? Oh, they're doing the Viking row? Oh, now it's K-pop? What am I watching here? Yeah, Madonna's got to be like in her mid-60s, man. But it looks like I'm watching like Korean K-pop right now. That's what it looks like to me. Looks like I'm watching Korean boy bands. Why not just bring back the New Kids on the Block or something? Or even yet, how about the Backstreet Boy? How about the Backstreet Boys? Ooh. Yeah, like it looks like it looks like I'm looking at a Korean boy band right now. What is this? They should have got Willie Nelson. What about the Who, man? I can rock out to the Who. Femkey here in the chat is saying, no, how about play football? Yeah, we'll get back to it. They've already announced that they were going to do this like months ago. So you should have already been over it by now. It doesn't do you any good complaining about it. Yeah, yeah. I'm talking about the halftime show. America's weird. We don't do this. I don't care. Oh, now it's Ted Lasso and his assistant coach. This is weird, man. This game is so boring. I'd rather spend time with my wife. Well, then go spend time with your wife, man. I know there's Justin Bieber. Holy shit, Justin Bieber's all grown up. Wow. Ted Lasso. Yeah, seriously, it's Ted Lasso. Oh Lord, won't you buy me? Yeah, this is you heard about the ref that died? That ref? I heard about a ref that was taken away, got the World Cup taken away from him, and then he died. That's all I heard about the ref. No, the one in the field. What happened to the ref on the field? Was he found with cash in his locker or something? That'd have been great. No, I didn't hear about the ref in the field. What happened? Australic. The ref in the field was caught up years ago in a scandal. Okay, what was the scandal? It didn't involve an underage girl, did it? Oh, him and 8 other Albanians. Okay, what was washing money? Okay, and he's refing the World Cup final. Is that what you're saying? Okay, well that's 100% FIFA. Yeah, dude. Seriously, this is the weirdest lineup ever. Show as the game. Oh, show us the game. Yeah. Well, this will be over in just a few minutes. Yeah, and he's the ref of the final game. Yeah, that's FIFA for you though, right? Um, the funniest thing is like UEFA coming out against FIFA, and it's like that's understandable. Here's Shakira. I mean, for a middle-aged Colombian woman, she really is insanely good looking. She's got to be like close to 50 now. Yeah, like yeah, she's pretty good looking. Anyway, it's funny when UEFA comes out and speaks against FIFA, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool because you don't really need the money from FIFA. Like, there's different nations out there, different confederations that where their revenue streams 80% of it comes from FIFA. You never hear a peep out of them. Like, gee, I wonder why. Because they'd be starving without FIFA money. But UEFA, CONCACAF, yeah, they could do that. Common Bowl can come out and do that. But it's funny. It's funny that you don't hear a peep from certain nations or certain confederations, and it's just I find it kind of funny. And by the way, Gianni Infantino is not going anywhere. They're making billion. Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. They're probably going to get close to 15 billion for this tournament, which is why it'll be back in the United States in 2038. Mark my words, they'll be back in 14 years because they can do this. They can charge whatever for tickets, and every stadium will be sold out. And you have these goofy halftime shows, and it just is what it is. I wouldn't mind seeing it go back to. I wouldn't mind seeing it come back to England. I would love to see the UK World Cup. I wouldn't mind seeing Germany and the Netherlands host it together. That would be kind of cool. France, yeah, I guess. I guess. The interesting thing though is it's like that's 100% FIFA. You have your biggest. You have your. What are the Muppets doing there? Jesus Christ, Kermit the Frog and the Count and Miss Piggy. Good Lord. Anyway, so you have the biggest game of the tournament, the final, and you are entrusting the match to a dude that was involved in money washing, money laundering, a money laundering scandal. That would be like the NBA. That would be like the NBA allowing Tim Donaghy to ref every single game of the finals, and he was, he literally bet on games that he refed. You know what I mean? That would be the equivalent, and you would never see the NBA entrust their biggest games to, or the NFL to a ref that was involved in any type of scandal, money laundering. Like you just wouldn't see it. So now they get the kids out there, huh? This is dumb. This has got to be the dumbest halftime show I think I've ever seen. Believeinlove.org. Oh, good Lord. All right, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. All right. Shakira only one makes sense, and she's the queen of FIFA anthems. Yeah. Like, but what's funny, Greg, is like at the beginning of this, I was like, it's going to be Pitbull or Shakira. When they announced they were doing it, I was like, it's going to be one of two people. Bet. And sure enough, it was Shakira. It was going to be some Latin American theme. That'd be funny if it was Ricky Martin. Big Rainbow, them on. Oh yeah. Big Rainbow thems. Yeah, I'm out, man. Once I saw it, I was like, oh, and we're done. Yeah, NBA shuts down sketchy stuff. FIFA just says, you know what, screw it. Yeah, 100%. Would rather watch an MLS Cincinnati versus Chicago Fire match. I would probably watch that as well too. The interesting thing though is I'm assuming that the second half is going to be a little bit better played. Although now that both teams have had to sit for 30 minutes to 45 minutes, the interesting thing is how these teams are going to be. Like, I'm curious to know exactly, are we going to have 15 minutes where 15 minutes where teams are going to have to feel each other out because they're trying to get the momentum back, where otherwise it would be like, what, 10 minutes maybe? Is this going to be another garbage half where it goes to extra time and then, shootout? Let's see. What do you think about Leagues Cup? That's starting next month. The Leagues Cup sucks, man. It is a money grab where half the field doesn't care. Mexican teams do not care about Leagues Cup at all. And, because generally speaking, they're in their off season. They would rather be doing something else, which is why you see MLS teams dominate Leagues Cup. Versus the inverse versus CONCACAF Champions League, where they dominate us. They just don't care about the tournament. It will open more in the second half. Yeah, I would. Maybe. Who do I got winning this final? Spain. Can I save your enjoyment for soccer and give you a better league to watch? I promise. All right. What league is that? You better not say the Australian A-League. We better get the best 40. Yeah, that is the hope, Greg. But yeah, like after the World Cup, the saving grace about after the World Cup is we're a month away from the start of the Premier League. You know what I mean? Like that is the saving grace. So I only have to meddle through Major League Soccer the Leagues Cup, for 3 weeks before finally that thing kicks off. Let's see. We have Joe, man. What's going on, bud? Rooftop Sports, my guy. I'm already waiting for the 2023 Asian Games. The 2023 Asian Game? No, the 2027 Asian Games for South Korea. The 2027 Asian Cup and the 2027 U20 World Cup in Uzbekistan and Baku. By the way, I want to go to that, the U20 World Cup, but I also don't want to go to Uzbekistan or Baku, mainly because I have no idea where Baku's at. But I wouldn't mind going to see the U20 World Cup. The interesting thing is that the 2027 Gold Cup is going to be down in Mexico. It looks like Mexico is hosting the 2027 edition. You'll find my ass down in Mexico for that, without a doubt. Oh, it's in Azerbaijan? Maybe I'd go to Azerbaijan. I wouldn't mind. Let's see what's happening here. Not yet. When Electra King had her oil business in James Bond. Oh, okay. I didn't see that movie, so let's see. Don't take the wrong way. What league? That league is no good. Are you talking about Major League Soccer? I wouldn't go so that far. And you live somewhere else? No, I'm live. I'm live here. Right now I'm simulcast between YouTube and TikTok. The Americanization. Well, it's not the Americanization. What they did was they tailored it around to an American audience because the World Cup is in America. But the interesting thing is you can definitely say that, by the way. In 4 years when the World Cup is in Spain and Morocco, and if they're doing the same shit there, yeah, then you might be able to say that. But to say it for this one, it's like, well, gee, I wonder why they did it, because the World Cup is in America. Let's see, what's the story behind me being a Spurs fan? The story is my brother is an Arsenal fan. And when I was 18, 19, I used to go party with my brother on Friday and Saturday nights, and I would stay the night over at his house. And in the morning, he would wake me up at 6 a.m. so he could watch Arsenal. I would sleep on his couch, and he would wake up and watch Arsenal. And I remember absolutely hating Arsenal. Was never a fan of Highbury, was never a fan of Wenger, Dennis Bergkamp, Nicholas Anelka, David Seaman, all those dudes. I didn't like Arsenal. And I remember going on those early search engines and finding out who Arsenal's rival was. And that's how I found Spurs. And I've been with Spurs ever since, man. Yeah, I understand. Literally no other World Cup has done this, right? But here's the thing, right? It's understandable that you don't like the way that FIFA handled this. Fair. I'm not going to argue with that. But in 2030, if they do the exact same thing, then you can for sure say that FIFA tried to Americanize it. But as of right now, the only thing that I will say is that FIFA did these things because the World Cup was in America, and they're curtailing it to an American audience. And it looks like the players are back on the field here. Watch the Brazil. Yeah, no, I do watch the Brazil the Brazil Primera. Let's see. Dang, Messi looks so focused. I expect at least one goal for him because this is the end for him. We'll see. Messi was completely rendered useless in that first half, so we'll see. Flamengo, yeah. I'm not a big Flamengo guy. Who do I like? Santos. I like Santos. I like Gremio. What's funny, though, is, believe it or not, one of my favorite South American team is Envigado in Colombia. Kind of a fan of Envigado. But I do like the Copa Libertadores, though. As looks like we are getting set to start the second half here. And it's going to be interesting to see how Argentina adjusts to this one because, going forward in that first half, they were rendered useless. Absolutely had zero answer to Spain's defensive positioning. credit Spain, they took away passing lanes. Their positioning was phenomenal. And Argentina could not do a thing. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how Scaloni attacks the second half. But if I'm Spain, what I really want to do is score within the first 10 minutes. By doing that, it essentially takes Argentina out of this game. But it looks like Paredes is coming in here to start the second half. That would be the way that Spain should approach this. The first 10 minutes of the second half is just get numbers forward, try to find an overload somewhere, get a goal, and pick up the momentum. Because I would probably assume that halftime show, the amount of time that they were in the locker room, potentially kills momentum. And Spain has to do whatever they can to at least, like, if they want to win this one, they're going to have to dictate terms within the first 10 minutes. And I would probably assume the same for Argentina, as that one nearly found Yamin Lamal. As Argentina will come away here, as they're going to be playing from left to right to start the second half. As there is, that was nearly taken away. It is taken away. Here's Buenda. Buenda tries to cut on his dominant foot. There's a shot. And Martinez is there. By the way, Martinez is one of my least favorite Premier League goalkeepers. I bet you guys didn't know that, because I absolutely cannot stand Aston Villa. Let's see, brother, if Spain doesn't win at least 2-1. Yeah. You bet on it, didn't you? Oh, yeah, you did. Oh, yeah, you did. As this one will go back to Simone. And he's got to play this one quick. There's the turnover for Argentina. Now McAllister will play it off to the right. Here's Rodrigo de Paul. Wouldn't that be something if it was one of the two MLSers to get that goal? You would never hear the end of it from the MLS shills. As this one gets played all the way back to Martinez. Halftime show, God, is there shooter in the stadium? Don't shoot Trump, shoot me. Oh. As this ball is going to make its way all the way down the right-hand side. There's a foot race. And that one will get out. Good defense right there by Laporte. Are they going to say that's a foul? I don't know. That like a clean tackle to me. Are we getting bullshit calls here now? Oh, they're going to say corner. Okay. I thought they were going to give them a free kick there. So Argentina will get their first corner of the game here. It comes at the 47th and a half minute, as Messi will take this one, as this one gets whipped in, as he went near post right there. And it looks like this thing will be a goal kick here. Come on, Spain. But I will say that Spain's dominance in this tournament is nothing short of what I expected, coming off of Euro 2024. And this is nearly replicating the type of dominance we saw from 2008 to 2010. As Argentina trying to work their way up that left-hand touch line, although this ball now will get played all the way back. Halftime show suck balls. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. You knew they were going to go full DEI on that thing, though. It wouldn't be American DEI if it didn't feature the rainbow. Yeah, good Lord, man. Creed or Stained would have been awesome. That actually would have been pretty awesome. Can you imagine Creed up there singing Arms Wide Open? Oh man. Actually, I'll tell you what would have been cool is if like what's that band? Oh man, Dave Grohl's band. Golly. Yeah, the Foo Fighters. That would have been pretty cool. The fact it had a halftime show, yeah, like whatever. Keep complaining, man. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, man. Or Hoobastank, don't leave them out. Oh man, how about just going old school, getting Metallica? As it looks like there is a whistle there as Wanda is going to get called for that foul right there. So play resumes as Argentina will hold possession. There's a chip over. Nice play by Ruiz as Spain will come away with this one. Here's Yamin Lamal. Yeah, I can see better poison. Every rose, man. Every rose has that thorn. As it looks like Rodri is down. As there's some pushing and shoving here. Ooh, and now goes Danny Olmo. There's a yellow card. I'm surprised a red didn't come out. Danny Olmo was shoved to the ground. Yank Spurs fan, poor soul. Nah, we're good. As we see this again, as Rodri just takes a shove in the back and falls down. Oh, Rodri. Oh, Rodri with the flop of the tournament right there. Rage Against the Machine would have been acceptable to me. That would have been pretty good too. I agree with this. They should start giving penalties. Yeah, I would agree. That was 100% a flop. So here comes Spain. Here's Cucurella. As Rodri will play this to the right. Finds Pedro Porro. As this one will go forward. There's nobody there. Except for Rodrigo de Paul. That's taken away. Good flip up. Here's Danny Olmo. Good defense right there by Cuti Romero. As McAllister's under pressure. And that one will get out. This will be a throw-in for Argentina. As we are in the 53rd minute now. In your opinion, Curacao would have made it if they didn't rig it for Argentina. Made it to what? The knockout rounds? The mighty Curaçaoans. Yeah, maybe. The finals, they were a really good time. Okay. I don't know about that. What I will say is, had refs called it straight, yeah, there's a good chance maybe Argentina doesn't advance to a final. I'll give that to you. It's also the same that had refs in the Premier League called it straight, Arsenal would have lost the Premier League by at least 8 points. But we all don't get our way. They wanted Argentina to defend their title. As there's a chip to the center. Here's Ruiz. Here's Olazabal now. He's got runners. Oh, as this one gets poked away, but there's Cucurella. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like none of those teams really wanted to play for the third place game. Nobody was really playing defense. As there's a chip to the right side. Here's Yamal. And there's no call. As Yamal wanted a penalty there. Wasn't going to give him. Cucurella tries to take it away. Guinda calls for a handball. Not going to get it. And down on the ground. It looks like it's Laporte. Yeah, I mean, of course it was way, way better. Nobody was playing defense in that match. You had 10 goals. As, yeah. I was kind of hoping that maybe Ruiz there would have actually just dribbled to his left and put a shot on goal. There's a good through ball. It's Dani Olmo. Here's Danny. Tries to center it. Oh, Cucurella was there. As Montiel is not happy. They had two keepers. That's defense. Good through ball for Spain as Dani Olmo centered it. As Montiel got there to clear that one away. I wonder if Homegirl's here today, man. The Spanish chick, the Spanish player, Anita Bonmonti. Is that her name? She's kind of hot in that nerdy kind of way. Now, this will be a corner for Spain. As they're going to play this short. There's a ball in, and Pedro, what was Pedro Porro doing? That was terrible. That was Mbaya. The keeper from Spain is killing it, by the way. He's having a good game. If this nation wants to be somewhat of a serious nation, youth system must change. Yeah, that kind of goes for a few different nations as well, too. I would argue that England should focus on their player development as well, too. Not that they're not developing good players, but when you're looking at the absolute true elite in world football, you're Spain, you're France, and you look at teams like Argentina, not only have they caught up, but they've kind of overtaken England when it comes to player development. And you're looking at some of these generational talents, and you wonder why England hasn't won it since '66. And it's I'm not, and by the way, and I'm not even taking shots at England's player development, because again, they still develop good players, but those truly elite players that that separate yourselves, like in these type of tournaments where you can be like, oh, okay, yeah, England's just not that squad anymore. Yeah, no, and and by the way that Germany, the way that the Netherlands, Norway are developing players, some might say that their centralized system is maybe kind of like at the top of the food chain. And when you're looking at teams like Brazil that are struggling, yeah, there's a case to be made, man. The United States, while they've gotten better, they're nowhere like near like a top 10 team when it comes to player development. But I mean, here's the thing though. It's interesting though, but you see it every single year where at least 15 to 20 young Americans will make the move over to Europe. I mean, that's something considering that, it would be like one or two. So it goes to show you how far we've come, but it's not nearly enough. But you can blame these Brazilians. They want to support their families. Yeah, for sure. And listen, man, I don't at all blame any player for taking the money. Not even remotely. As it looks like there's going to be a free kick here for Spain. And what's jarring is how far Brazil has fallen. Same thing with Germany, really. Both of those teams that at one point were absolute superpowers. It sucks, man. They've kind of fallen by the wayside. Meanwhile, you look at Japan's player development, and that's gotten night and day better over the last 30 years. And you start seeing where Japan all of a sudden now is a round of 16 type of team. Like the United States and Japan, I'd put on the same level. Can qualify, can get out of their group, but they can't get past that second hurdle. So this will be a free kick for Spain as we are now in the 60th minute, as it'll be Yamin Lamal, as this one will go in. It's going to take a deflection. There's a ball that's going to be in. That's going to take another deflection as Buenda. And they're going to say last touch by Spain. So again, Spain fails here on a free kick. That was actually nice defense right there by Alvarez. But looks like Spain's going to make a couple changes here. So coming off as Mikel Oyarzabal. And it looks like Fabian Ruiz will come off as well, too. Never trust a dude named Fabian. So it'll be Torres and Pedre coming in for Spain. So we'll have Rodri and Pedri. It sounds like that could be like a Muppet type of show, Rodri and Pedri, like Bert and Ernie. Worst World Cup final I've ever watched. Would rather watch Love Island. Not me. That sounds gay. As there's gonna be a whistle, and Spain will have the possession here. That doesn't sound like anything I'd watch. Love Island. Okay. As Torres gets clipped, he'll go down. So again, this will be a free kick. As play resumes, here's Lamine Yamal, flanked by two defenders. Why play it? Oh, there you go. And I think they're going to get the whistle. Oh, no, they're not. It is a waste of a set piece to play it short. It never works. That's the point. That's the point I've reached. It's that bad. I'd rather watch Gay Love Island than another halftime show. I'm sure there is a Gay Love Island. I think it's on the Lifetime channel. Yeah. It's interesting too because Mexico. For those that don't know, Mexico closed their league a couple years back, and they were using the excuse because of COVID. But COVID's been gone now for a few years, and they still have a closed league. They got rid of promotion and relegation. And when you're looking at Mexico's rosters and play resumes here, it's one of the worst rosters I've seen in 30 years. There is a shot by Dani Olmo that's going to take a deflection out. They announced they're going to have like some sort of central, I guess you can say, developmental system, where, they're going to get back to national scouting. Mexico has done a lot of their scouting in the United States for obvious reasons, but, because of the way things ended, this is kind of like an emotional reaction where all they have to do is open up the league, get back to promotion and relegation, and they'll get back to doing the things that they've done well. But they'd rather spend, $25 to $50 million putting together this central program we'll see if it actually works. I mean, it is Mexico after all. As this ball gets whipped in short, they'll take a deflection out. Here's Pedro Porro. Back to Yamal. He'll chip this one in, and that'll be headed away. And I think it'll stay in this end. Up the Spurs. Sunny Money, 78. What's going on, Money? The U.S. just recently came out and they said something about this ball gets whipped in. Martinez will bat it away. And it'll fall to Cudi Romero, who will launch this one long. But it's Mark Cucurella who comes away with it. Within the week of the U.S. getting knocked out, U.S. Soccer came out and said something about how the pay-to-play system isn't benefiting the U.S. And it's like, okay, then open up the pyramid. Pay-to-play will always be around, but it doesn't necessarily have to be as prominent as it is. Like, even if you open the pyramid, there's pay-to-play will always be here, but that's how you solve the player development problem. But Major League Soccer will never do that, as this ball will get headed out. So Spain again will have a corner. Should MLS play in Copa Libertadores? I'm going to say no, but they probably will. I can see it happening because especially considering that FIFA wants to move to a 64 team tournament in 2030. That could, as this ball gets whipped in, and that's going to be headed away at near post, back to Lamal. Here's Yamin trying to dribble through two defenders. He actually wins this one. That's going to get headed. And Spain nearly scored as Torres headed it right to Martinez. And I kind of feel you here, Zabil. It does feel like Spain's on the cusp of scoring. But because of the extended tournaments and the want to go to a 64 team tournament, there's a good chance that CONCACAF and CONMEBOL merge when it comes to major tournaments and for World Cup qualifying. So I could see a scenario where Copa Libertadores gets opened up to North American teams. And as we hit the 67th minute, it is a hydration break. It's something that Major League Soccer would welcome, because when you have Inter Miami, essentially it's our version of their Argentinian team. It would be a way to get, Inter Miami into that tournament. It'd be kind of weird. I'll be the first one to acknowledge it, because they played the Libertadores. They would try to play the Libertadores in the United States. Certain rounds would get played in the United States. No break, no ads. That's exactly right. Telemundo, baby. So I guess you can say the first 20 minutes here in the second half, again, maybe a little bit better for Spain getting forward, but otherwise we're still at a 0-0 deadlock here as we're pushing the 70th minute. We don't need no sneaking badges in football. Badges? We don't need no hydration breaks. Is there anybody more unlikable than Leo Messi? He just seems unlikable to me. Yeah, I said it. Is that Jay-Z and Beyonce? Yes, it is. There is Alcaraz, Carlos Alcaraz, the tennis player. Yeah, he's there. There's Serena Williams. I don't know who that is. If I wasn't a nigga by the name of Jigga, would you want me? If I couldn't flow futuristically, could you see yourself, nigga, working harder than 9 to 5 jobs? Or do you need a baller? As we are getting getting ready to come out of this hydration break, it's going to be interesting to see who gets the first goal here. As it looks like Cuti Romero is coming off, and Rodrigo de Paul will come off. As coming in will be Simeone and Medina. Is that Diego's kid? I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and also hit the notification bell. And if you guys are watching in on TikTok Live, the link is in the description. So head on over to YouTube, man. Show the channel some love. All right. Looks like we're getting ready to start here. It'll be Argentina in possession, as all the bells and whistles of this World Cup have come to an end. That was the last hydration break of the 26 tournament, as Argentina are trying to figure out how to play through down this left-hand side, as this one will go out, so Spain will have the throw-in. As we're at the Estadio de New York, New Jersey. Nueva York, as that one will go out, last touched by Spain, so Argentina will have the throw-in here. As it's Messi, as this one will get played all the way back. As Martinez now will play it up the left-hand side. That's a nice little pass right there by Martinez. Spain closes it down. Here's Alvarez. He really dropped deep to make that touch. As Love from Above has joined the chat here. Me personally, I like the Love Below. Yeah, I cracked myself up. As Argentina now. That one's going to take a deflection off of Rodri. But McAllister will come away with it. There's a ball up the left-hand side. All of a sudden, here comes Alvarez. As Argentina now. That's a nice little give and go. Here's Messi now. Off the right to the right-hand side. There's a ball that's going to get central. It's going to take a deflection. Spain will come away with it. Here's Buenda. As he's got room. He's going to hold it up. As Pedri will play it off to the right. Here's Pedro Porro. As Dani Olmo will play up to Lamine Yamal. Gets caught up. No whistle. As Julian Alvarez is surrounded by 4 red shirts, and that ball gets taken away. Interesting thing, I was playing FC 26 this morning, as I decided to put the Sounders in League 2 in England. And I'm playing with essentially the U23 US team in League 2. It's great. I'm going to see if I can get the Sounders to the Champions League. As this ball will make its way up to the right-hand side, here's Yamin. As that ball will get out past the end line. As we are approaching the 75th minute. As this final has been hasn't been exactly great. So it looks like Nico Williams is set to check in, and Mikel Merino. Dude's got great hair, man. Nico Williams, the dreads in the back, business in the front, party in the back, baby. Dude's awesome too. As Mikel Merino, of course, with Arsenal. Terrible. Just a terrible decision for your career to go to Arsenal. As this ball will make it down as Spain. And there's going to be a whistle as it looks like Merino is down. That one's going to get called against Paredes, probably. Crap game from the worst ever tournament. Please, dude. This was one of the best World Cups ever. As this one will make its way back. I mean, this final really has been anticlimactic, but this World Cup has had everything, man. It had upsets. It had storylines. It had fan favorites. It captivated the country. That's what a World Cup is supposed to do. As there's the switch to the left-hand side, here's Nico Williams. That's a good pass right there. Here's Cucurella. Out to Pedri. Dribbles between three. Back to Cucurella. There's a shot. Ooh, saved by Martinez. Nothing much on it, as it looked like Pedri was pushed in the back. As we see it again. Yeah, 100% he was pushed in the back. Spain will come away with it again, though. Here's Yamin Lamal. As he dribbles around his defender. Yamin tries to center it. Oh, that was just a terrible pass. Not exactly the greatest tournament from the young lad. As we are now in the 76th. There's a shot saved by Martinez. Chip forward. Nico's going to chase after it. He gets there. Dribbling, getting defended by two. And he does the right thing by chipping it off the defender. And it gets out for a cross. Excuse me, a corner. Nice hustle right there for the rebound, too, from Mikel Merino as he kept it in. As Nico Williams will take this one. As this ball gets whipped in, headed away. There is a whistle, though. I think they're going to do this one again. As we are approaching the 80th minute now, about 11 minutes remain. Still scoreless. As this ball gets whipped in, as a couple players from each team fall down. As Kubasi nearly got to it, though. He just missed it. Just missed it. As this one will be a throw-in for Argentina. As Spain comes away with it. I wouldn't be surprised if Spain is like somewhere close to 70% possession. They have literally dominated. Just not a lot of end product here. Yeah. Here's Pedro Porro now. Come on, Spain. Do something. There you go. Here's Yamin Lamal again. They're going to try up the right-hand side. That ball's going to take a deflection. It'll go out, so Spain will get another corner. As we are now in the 80th minute. It's going to be nice getting Mauricio Pochettino back. I'll just say that. I think here in the United States, when it comes to our top flight, actually, oh, there you go. Oh, right there is Martinez. Good cross. It actually found a mark. It actually found somebody. Just not a lot on it. As there's Simone, and it looks like Cucurella falls. As Simeone is going to get a stern talking to, as we see this again, and he just ran right into Cucurella. But that last one, it did find Laporte there at the near post, at the far post, excuse me, but not enough power on that header right there, as Martinez was easy to save it there. Yeah, but when it comes to American soccer, yes, Major League Soccer is back. But the interesting thing, though, is at least on my thread on X, I've been seeing a lot of fans checking in from Second Division USL Championship. I know there was a bunch that went down to Pittsburgh, and that's actually kind of a first. It seems like we're getting a lot more interaction from the USL than I'm seeing from Major League Soccer, which is a little surprising, I will say, as there's going to be a yellow card here against Fernandez. Enzo. I think when you consider that, USL is launching their Premier Division in 2027, 2028, or 28, 29, excuse me. And they'll have 3 divisions of promotion and relegation. And I think American fans, at least from the small sample size I've seen, are starting to potentially get on board with the United Soccer League, which is interesting, man. It's interesting. And quite honestly, it's actually not bad. I mean, I live pretty close to Detroit City, and I've actually had a nice time down there. So yeah, it's not a bad atmosphere for U.S. soccer. As we're getting set here with Argentina with possession, as this one will make its way over to the right side, chip forward. As this one gets headed back in, as Yamin Lamal will hold possession out, as Spain will play this one all the way back. Here's Cucurella. Here's Nico Williams, and that's he gets pushed down, no call. Oh, that was a foul. 100% that was a foul. As Messi will play this one forward. But there's Laporte to clear it. And there's going to be a whistle against Argentina. And of course, in our chat, we always have the great Natesky, who represents Rhode Island FC. As there's the president yet again. as this one gets chipped over to the right-hand side. Here's Lamal. That's a good ball forward. Here's Torres. That's going to take a deflection, as it'll be a throw-in for Spain here, as we're approaching the 85th minute now. Still scoreless. Not a lot of end product in this one, as Spain did have a few moments here in the second half. Nothing really, I would say, clear-cut as far as chances go, as this one gets chipped over to Cucurella. Here's Pedro Porro, as that one will get chipped out by McAllister. So it'll be a throw-in for Spain. 5 minutes remain. As there's the switch to the left-hand side, it's Nico Williams. As Nico will cut in, tries to cut it back to his left foot. It takes a deflection. But right there is Pedri, as this one gets played all the way back to Simon. And we will start this process all over again. As, yeah, Spain really has dominated possession here. As it's got to be somewhere in that 70%. Here's Rodri, as he'll play this off to Yamin Lamal. Back to Rodri. Chipped forward. Here's Torres, tries to shoot. That's going to go wide. Nice little play right there from Spain. Good run. He just could not get on the end of it. As Mikel Merino. That was a good little chip over. As we have about 3 minutes left to play before we get to the 90, added time, and then extra time. And of course, if this match is still at zeros at the end of extra time, it goes to a shootout. Here comes Spain now. As Yamal, that's a good pass right there. Here's Pedri, trying to find Nico, as Nico will save this. Out to Cucurella. Here's Rodri. Maybe did take a slight deflection there, but it's Pedro Porro. Here's Nico Williams off the left-hand side, defended by two. I don't know. Just play something in. Jesus. And that one's going to be flicked away, but Spain will hold it. Here's Lamal. Here's Rodri. Chipped over to the left. It's Nico Williams. 1v1. Tries to nutmeg. Good defense right there by Argentina, as that one will get out. So Spain will have a throw in here. 1.5 minutes left. When total football goes wrong. Here's Rodri. He's going to take a shot that'll clear the crossbar by 20 feet. Not a bad idea, though. It's just a terrible shot. as Chemo Seymour, who is a Messi fan right there, obviously, as he's spelling Messi in the chat. As this one most likely looks like it'll be a throw-in. There's Xavi Hernandez. Looks like the old Spanish crew is here. All the boys from the 2010 team. As we're approaching the 90th minute. 4 minutes of added time. Torres gets dragged down and he gets the call against him. Interesting. It's been uneven officiating in this match. As this one will go back to Martinez. And there's the long ball. As Kubasi will head this forward. Here's McAllister. Here's Messi now. Off the turn. As Messi will hit the deck here. As he's getting back up. As we see it again. And he just ran into Laporte. That's it. As Dave says, come on, Spain. I've been saying that for 91 minutes now. So this will be a free kick for Argentina. Off the right-hand side. About a good, 45 yards out. Yeah, Argentinian chick was kind of fat. Yeah, she looked kind of big. So this will probably be a free kick here for Messi, as they're going to play this one short. Here's Messi. That's good defense right there by Spain. Here's Alvarez. Lays it off to the right. Plays in. Oh, nice play by Simone to take that away. As Spain will try to counter quick. They do. Here's Nico Williams. Nico is going to take a shot. Good save by Martinez. Oh. Ooh. And that's it. Enzo Fernandez is off. As Enzo Fernandez went in for a vicious tackle. Upends. As we see it again, as it's Kubasi, as he came in to play the ball, Enzo Fernandez clips him. Kubasi goes ass over tea kettle. And that's going to be Enzo Fernandez's second yellow, so he's going to get the red. As Enzo's going to go off. As we wait for this scrum to end here. Yeah, I'm currently live right here. This is interesting. So Enzo Fernandez gets the second yellow. And he's going to get sent off. As we are actually at the 4-minute limit here. So now Spain will be up a man for the extra time, as Kubasi is still being looked at. And it looks like Cucurella is talking trash to Messi. As play will resume. So now Argentina's down a man for the remainder of this one, as the extra time should be coming to an end. The added time. So if this thing goes to extra time, Argentina will be down for 30 minutes if they can get this to a shootout. So we'll see what Spain does now. Here's Nico Williams. Here's Cucurella. Here's Pedri. Here's Kubiasi. And now it's Rodri. Over on the right side, here's Lamine Yamal as he cuts in. And that's good defense right there by Argentina. That's held in by Spain, taken away by Cucurella. Oh, yeah. There's going to be a free kick right outside the box. This one's going against Paredes. As Torres just got his feet knocked out from underneath him. That's just a silly tackle by Paredes, and all of a sudden it feels like Argentina's coming unglued. Maybe a little too much shithousery in the last 15 minutes. Tackles are getting a little bit more intense. So this will be a free kick. It'll be Lamine Yamal and Pedro Porro standing on top of this one. Can Spain cash in here at the end of the added time here? Can Spain close it out? The Argentinian fans are on the edge of their seat. A bag of nerves. Here we go. As the ref here. As the ref again has to direct play. Here's Yamal. There's the shot. Oh, what a save by Martinez. As this one will now go out for a corner. As Yamal put one on. That was a good save right there. Good stretch, good save by Martinez. Here's Nico Williams. We'll try to play one in. Ooh. As that will be it. As Kubasi again hits the deck. So that'll take care of the added time at the end of the 90. We will go into extra. Yep, I agree. This definitely changes the game. Argentina's has to play a man down for 30 minutes as Chemo Seymour continues to pimp Leo Messi. But interesting turn of events here at the end of the 90 as Enzo Fernandez gets sent off, getting his second yellow card. as we get set for the next 30. And I would probably assume that Spain breaks through in this added time here. Thank you very much, Dave. I try to. I'm not as good as Sky, but that's okay, though. I'm not trying to be. But what I will say is that for a large portion of this 90, it really was Spain dominating possession, and that was pretty much it. Not a lot of creativity on each end. Well, let me be real. Not a lot of creativity from Spain. Argentina just didn't create any chances whatsoever in that 90. And it almost felt like desperation was catching in towards the end of that 90 as their tackles became a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for, intense. And, maybe taking a little bit too much risk on some of those challenges as Enzo Fernandez gets sent off. So we'll see exactly how Argentina prepares for this added time. But Spain is in full control. One of the things that Spain has to do is take more risk in the attacking third. Maybe more through balls in central areas. How about Cucurella actually playing a ball in? That would be nice. Just a thought. If Spain doesn't win, it'll be the biggest World Cup blunder of all time. They won't sit back, Argentina. They will go for it. Down a man? Yeah, maybe. This isn't how's WE? What's WE? Para. It will be interesting to see how Argentina plays this. Down a man. I mean, I would think that they're not going to sit back and bunker, but again, when's the last time Argentina got forward and actually put together something that looked threatening? The answer is not so much. So Spain now will be playing from left to right. 2 15-minute periods, followed by a shootout. If it gets that far. Let's see. Spain should win this. I agree. Disgusting team. Which one? Argentina or Spain? I'm so happy Cucurella is no longer in the Premier League. Oh, my least favorite player. Spain will hold possession to start this extra period here. As we are underway now. Here's Rodri. Let's see what Spain has up their sleeve. Here's Cucurella. As Pedri makes it over to Pedro Porro. Here's Lamal. Yamin Lamal. There's the switch to the left. Here's Nico Williams. Williams again. Here's Yamin Lamal. Yeah, I mean, this has just been a great passing exhibition. Not a lot of chance as that one's taken away. As Pedro Porro will get whistled for the foul there. Yeah. I hope so. Something's going to have to give here because Spain is just lacking creativity. They get into their attacking half and then just sit on the ball. There's zero bravery in their attack, zero creativity. And it's like, we'll try it to Yamin. Oh, defender closes in. Let's pass it back. Let's move it around. It's like, okay, cool. Eventually you're going to have to actually try to play one in, as that one will shoot over the head of Julian Alvarez. As Spain again will hold possession. As here's Torres now. As he breaks in the box, Yamin can't handle it. That one will take a bounce out. As Spain will come away with it. Here's Pedri. Pedri chipped in. Nico! Oh, what a save. What a save by Martinez. As there's going to be a whistle there. Man, that was pretty crazy as Pedri chipped one as Nico tried to redirect it off his braids. But Martinez was there. That was a hell of a save, man. As this one will get past the end line, so it'll be a goal kick for Argentina. That was actually a good run right there by Nico Williams. He actually, I don't know, man. Looks like I guess he redirected just a little bit there. Is he really a top goalkeeper, Dave? I mean, he does play for Villa. All right, fair enough. As play resumes, here's Pedro Porro. Beats his defender. Here's Rodri. Yamin Lamal. Take a chance, buddy. As that one's going to get redirected. As Argentina will try to clear it. Spain will come up with it, though. Take chances. Show some guts. Or just continue to pass the ball around. There's the switch to the left. Here's Nico Williams. As that's going to be cleared away. And that'll get out. So Spain will have a throw in. Okay, so Juventus agreed to personal terms with Martinez. There you go. Looks like Villa's getting gutted. That makes me happy. As here's Pedro Porro now. Porro tries to center. There's Nico Williams. Oh, it goes in. There it is. Spain breaks through. Oh, they're going to take this one off. Oh, you're a Villa fan? Oh, okay. as I think they're going to call a foul on Mikel Merino. As Nico Williams did score on the play. As we see it again, it goes in to Mikel Merino. And he just flat out missed it. I don't understand where there's a foul on the play. As Mikel Merino missed the ball, and he didn't make contact with his boots on Martinez. That actually should stand. That goal should stand. If there was a time for VAR intervention, it's right here. There's no foul on the play. As Merino just tries to flick it to himself. Are they saying that is a handball? The 12th of August via Villa versus PSG Super Cup, who wins? Probably PSG. Looks like Crystal Palace is going to the Europa League this year after winning the conference. And I think Villa is going to be in the Champions League, right? Yep. I am looking forward to Palace in the Europa League, though, as it looks like Spain will be making another switch here, as it looks like Eric and Zubamendi are going to come on. I don't think it's the worst. It's generally not. It's definitely not the best. As Rodri will come off. Yep. you hate to admit it. You hate to admit it, Greg, but yeah, the Spain team is pretty amazing. Yeah, they're not bad. This is right up there with Spain 2010, although that team was way better. Here's Cucurella now off the left. Pedri's going to chip it in. Merino tried to get the inside shoulder. Didn't get there. There's a foot race here. There's going to be a whistle there against Messi. I don't understand how that's a foul unless they're saying it's a handball on Merino as he flicked it back to himself and his hand came and touched it. His backhand touched it. Here's Yamin Lamal. Here's Pedro Porro. As they'll swing this around again. Here's Nico Williams. Here's Pedri. There you go. There's the as Cucurella will come back to hold it in now. Yep, sold Rodgers by tomorrow. Where's Rodgers going to? Is he going to Arsenal? Here's Lamine Yamal. Oh, Chelsea. That's right. That's right. It's Chelsea. There is, and Lamal just literally skies the entire Lamine Yamal skies the entire box right there. As Marco Senesi will check in. There we go. There's another spur. As Julian Alvarez will come off. So It looks like Argentina is bringing in an extra defender here. As Senesi checks on. As this will be a goal kick for Argentina. Yep. You're up with the news. Arsenal did want him. Yeah, they did. And Spurs wanted them too. Why was the goal ruled out? I believe they called a foul on Mikel Merino, although it also could have been a handball, one of the two. But that actually should have been that goal should have stood. Here's Pedro Porro now. He's got space as he dribbles up the right side, slows it down. Here's Lamine Yamal. Here's Nico Williams. There's a ball in. Marino, oh, and he missed it. Oh, he got on the end of it. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay, so he trod on it. Yeah, but he actually didn't even make contact with home dude's foot. That's the crazy thing. You look at that replay and he completely missed his foot. As that was nearly a goal right there for Spain. As Marino got essentially made that run unmarked and just couldn't put it away. Good delivery right there too. Spain feel like Spain is knocking on the door here. Here's Pedri. As we've getting into crunch time here in extra time. Here's Pedro Porro. Here's Nico Williams. Yeah, Nico, you needed to play one in. There's a shot by Williams that's going to take a deflection. Here's Messi now. As Messi will play it off to the right. As Cucurella will just literally run into and they say play on. Here's Lamal. That's going to get out. Yep, 115 minutes of football and still not a shot for Argentina. Yeah. It has not been a good game. As Cucurella just ran into Simeone. And the ref says play on. As you mean Lamine Yamal and home dude over there off the touchline nearly got into it. As now this thing is starting to get chippy. As Scaloni gets a yellow card. Three minutes of added time here at the end of the first set of extra time. As that'll be taken away as Nico Williams hits the deck, no call. As this ref, I don't know, man, this ref is absolutely acting well. He is letting everything go at this stage. As Martinez will play this long. Pedro Porro comes away with it. Here we go. There's a ball in. Ref says play on as Torres was taken down. Here's Pedri. Nico Williams made a run. Didn't find him. Tripped from behind by Simeone. As this ball makes its way down to the left, here's Pedro Porro. Good defense right there by Spain. And if Argentina win this in a shootout, man, that would be absolutely devastating. Because they certainly have not played like they wanted it today. Come on, you Spurs. As Fernand Torres just shoved the dude down to the turf. As this thing will go out. No call. So Spain will have the throw in here. Yep, Spain don't deserve it. Or Argentina don't deserve it, but yeah, goals count. Yeah. As Porro will play this forward. As that one will go out. So as Mikel Merino is saying that the ref is saying what Merino went over the back. So this will be an Argentina throw in here. Spain will come away with it. There's a free kick. Okay, I got you. All right, they're gonna call at the end of the first period of extra time here. Spain had two opportunities. One of them was a missed header by Mikel Merino, and a goal that probably should have stood by Nico Williams, but chalked off for one of the weakest fouls I think I've ever seen it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would say it's more than just concerning, Greg. Messi will never forgive Enzo if they lose. It'll be a blood feud. It'll be a blood feud. Would have been a better game if Cape Verde were there instead of Argentina. Come on, Toad Liquor. Get real. It would have been sweet if it was England versus Spain. That would have been sweet. So Messi is 39. He'll be 43 in 2030, and he probably will be toward the end of his time in Major League Soccer. I think he signed through 28, 29. You know, it'd be interesting if he signs a 1-year deal with Miami for the 29-30 and then goes to the 30 World Cup at 43. And then calls it a career. You wouldn't want England, surely 215th independence. Now, you know, listen, I actually had England in the final. I thought they were the second best team in the tournament, and I had France, England in the final. But England would have given Spain a game. Argentina has literally, I don't even know how to describe Argentina's performance. It hasn't been great. England would have given Spain a game. As play resumes, here's Argentina playing from left to right. As that's going to take a deflection. As Cucurella will have to go back. Yep, Argentina, 0 attempts. That's exactly right. And if they win in a shootout, I will be very, very, very put off. I don't think there's ever been a World Cup final where a team attempted 0 attempts and still won. There's a ball into the back post. Nico Williams centers it. There's a shot. Oh, there it is! Fernan Torres scores the go-ahead goal right at the start of the second extra period. And Spain grabs the 1-0 lead. There it is. You knew it was coming. I will stop supporting football if I win. Wait, let's not celebrate. Infantino is in the stands. It would have been anyone's game, England versus Spain. It's who turned up. Yeah, I agree. This can still be ruled out. Yeah, dude, if they chalk this one up for some bullshit reason, yeah, the fix is in. As you see this one again, Pedro will play one to the back post, and it was Nico Williams that just laid it down. And there's Torres. Yeah, everybody's onside. What a goal by Torres. Right place, right time. As Spain most likely will win this match and the World Cup. As I think Spain has done this once again, where they win the Euros and then they 2 years later win the World Cup. I think they did that in 08, 2010, and I think they won Euros 2012. That string of dominance. As here it is again. God bless football has one today. Spain European champions and possible world champions. Yeah, well, it's going to happen. So Messi will be sitting on this free kick here. That ball will go in. Here's Simone. And he's there to cover this one up. That's probably the quote of the day from Toad Liquor. Football has one today. I agree. As Spain, this has been brilliant. I guess you can say it's been a brilliant performance. I wouldn't go that far, but they were finally to break through after more than 105 minutes of lackluster finishing. As this one will take a deflection backwards. Racing is Fernan Torres. He'll deflect again. This time it'll go out of play. As this one will make its way towards Messi off the right. Messi has to stop. Cucurella was right there. As this one will take a deflection back. Messi tries to play it in. Good defense by Spain. And again, deflected. As Argentina cannot find a way in. And it's been like this all match long. This is the first pop of possession Argentina has had. There's a ball in right there is Unai. And Simone will pick it up. Juliana Garcia says, Vamos. Vamos, Spain. And that just might be the winner. I think Robert Lewandowski is there. I think I just saw Lewandowski. Hey, mamma mia! Hey, I cannot believe it's gonna be Spain. I can't believe I'm speaking in an Italian accent while doing that. Ooh, yeah, there you go. That's gonna be a whistle, as that'll go against McAllister, and he'll get a yellow for his troubles. As these players after this will go on, I think what a 2 week holiday before reporting to their clubs to start the European preseason. As Pedro Porro will play this one back, as we are now just a few minutes away from Spain lifting the trophy. It should have been the U.S. I'm just playing. Here's Cucurella, Nico Williams. Here's Pedri. Not exactly the greatest ball from Pedri. If they are playing today, they will have the extended rest. England players won't be selected until September. Yeah. No, I'm talking about for their club teams. They'll have a couple weeks off before reporting to their clubs. Most of these players really haven't had an off season. So they'll have at least 2 weeks of rest before reporting. But the interesting thing is, I know was married to an American from Maine. Well, there you go. The interesting thing, though, is that, you almost eventually, yeah, these players are going to need a rest, 2 weeks before reporting back to their clubs. But I heard that England has Spain in September, that at September, October window, Spain will be playing at Wembley. There you go. That's a ball forward. Fernan Torres is there, and he will finish this one off. They're going to say he was offside. That's weak. Yeah, he was offside. So for the likes of Marco Senesi, Cudi Romero, and Pedro Porro, they won't report to Spurs for a few weeks, as they will look to at least try to decompress before ramping it back up again. Same with McAllister in Liverpool. I'm sure Messi will get a break before reporting back to Miami. That would be interesting if he wins the Ballon d'Or. I can't imagine he will, but that would be absolutely insane. Somebody from Major League Soccer winning the Ballon d'Or. Club dependent, but majority of these players will have 6 weeks rest now to avoid injury risk. Yeah, I actually read that it's interesting that so typically it's a 2 week break before reporting, but there could be a situation where Roberto De Zerbi will hold out those players from the Australia tour, as that one nearly goes in too, as it looks like Messi just put up a prayer. As that goes over the corner of the post and crossbar. And I would probably assume that it'll be the case, right? They'll report in 2 weeks, and then they'll stay at Hotspur Way while the rest of the club goes down to Australia and New Zealand, and they can, train lightly and rehab and relax and rest. As this one will go forward. Here's Nico Williams. He's there. As Nico dribbles around his defender. Here's Nico Williams. Oh, and Nico, what were you doing? Watch out for Spurs friendly game coming up. Man United got beat by Wrexham yesterday. Good for Wrexham. I didn't see that one. Yeah, like they'll get vacation. They'll have a 2-week vacation before they report. How about that? Wrexham beat Man United, huh? It's a preseason game. As that one will go over the head, racing to it is Simeone, who keeps it in. As Messi will rip one, that's going to take a deflection. Pedro Porro will track out. As Mikel Merino looks like, he's down. Looks like he took a shot off the face. As we see it again. Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, Merino took one right off his beak. Oh. Yeah, that probably didn't feel good for Mikel Merino. Oh, he took one right off the nose. Right off the snot box. Ooh. Yeah. Well, that shot was blocked, so yeah, I don't think so. As they look at the offside goal, the offside from Torres. Yeah, his arm was offside. The majority of his body was onside, except for that left arm, right? Or the left arm. As this match is winding down, Spain leading 1-0. As Argentina is looking for their last gasp. Still no shots on goal. Looks like Marino's fine. Yeah, no, but in 6 weeks, we will already be in season. Typically, how it works is that they'll report in 2 weeks to Hotspur Way while the rest of the club is on their Australian tour. They'll stay. Those guys will stay. Those guys will stay behind at Hotspur Way, and they'll just light train. That one is going to take a deflection out. As that gets played back to Martinez. As this ball flies. Headed down. Here's Messi. Chip forward, and now it's going to get cleared. And out of play it goes. It'll be a free kick. Yep. Look at Messi trying to get that ball closer. Yeah, ref wasn't having it. Ref wasn't having it. As we're in the 119th minute. Here's Messi laying it forward. And there's a shot that goes wide. As that was Marco Senesi crashing the box. As Spain's defense holds up as we see it again. As that ball was put in a central area. As now this will go out for a corner. As we are now in extra time. 5 minutes of added time. That ball gets whipped in. And out it goes. As Scaloni looks on. As they'll try this one again, it'll be Messi. As they'll play this one short. They'll do this one again. So Argentina will try to play this one short. There's a shot that goes over the crossbar. Oh, that was probably their best opportunity to equalize. Simeone puts it over. As Cucurella will pop this one up. Couple minutes remain. And Spain will have this one finished. As this ball will go forward. As it gets played back to Martinez. 3 minutes remain. As this one will go out of play. Here's Messi. Good pass right there by Messi. But it goes back. Now they work their way to the left-hand side. As there's going to be a foul against Argentina. Yep. Starts the 21st, yeah. As we have 2 minutes remaining now. As Spain has the goal kick. I think that's Carlos Alcaraz right there. As this ball will go down the right-hand side. As it finds its way to Messi. As Messi will play this long. There's Unai Simeone. As he will just fall to the ground there with the ball. We have 1 minute remaining. Spain leading by 1. Here's Nico. Desperation has pulled in for Argentina. Here's Cucurella. 40 seconds remain. Here's Fernan Torres. As there's going to be, a whistle right there. So this will go to Argentina. Less than 30 seconds remain now. Ten seconds remain. Martinez will play this long. Headed down. And now cleared. And there it is. Spain Spain is your 2026 World Cup champion. 1-0 is your final score, as Spain will hold on. Argentina will not defend their title, as this one goes back to Spain. Wow. And this, by the way, this is their first title since claiming their lone title back in 2010 when they defeated the Netherlands 1-0. So this is their second star. So congratulations to Spain. Not exactly the sexiest final, but still an ugly W is still a W. And they did it in the most important game of the tournament. So Spain will celebrate their second title. So congratulations. For Argentina, you just didn't do enough, man. You just didn't do enough. As we look at the full-time stats, Spain will win the possession battle 65% to 35%. XG 1.94 to 0.20. Total shots, Spain 20, Argentina 2. Shots on target 12 to 0, Spain. They absolutely dominated. Big chances, Spain 4, Argentina 0. Big chances missed, 3-0. Accurate passes, 762 to 357. Corners, Spain 9, Argentina 4. XG from open play 1.40 to 0.03. Non-penalty XG 1.94 to 0.20. I mean, it was ugly. Block shots, so shots on target 12-0. Shots off target 5-1. Block shots 3-1 Spain. Shots inside the box 9-1. 9-1. Shots outside the box 11-1. And the Netherlands were only 10 men in that game. Yeah, I remember that. Passes, total passes 852 to 463. Passes in the own half 345 to 238. Passes in the opposition half, how about 417 to 119? Accurate long balls, well, Argentina did win this one, 25-23. Accurate crosses, Spain 5, Argentina 1. Throws, 22-19 to Argentina. Touches in the opposition box, 31-8 for Spain. Unreal. Spain was offside 4 to Argentina's 1. Discipline, Argentina had 4 yellow cards to Spain's 0. And, of course, red cards. Enzo Fernandez gets sent off. Total fouls committed, Argentina 25, Spain 21. On the defensive side of the ball, actually, it was all Argentina. They win the tackle battle 18-17. They won interception 16-11. Blocks 3-1. Clearances 24-22. And keeper saves 11-0. Well, it's 2 yellows. 2 yellows. Yeah, keeper saves 11 for Argentina, 0. 0 for Simone. That's terrible. Duels. Spain won at 61-59. Ground duels, 49-47 goes to Spain. Aerial duels were even at 12, and successful dribbles, 12-8. Wow. So if that was it for Messi, and we probably will know pretty soon, I take it back. Messi will be at the 2030 World Cup as an ambassador. He might even be playing. We have Mary Roberts. Yes, Spain, Lamine Yamal. Congratulations. God bless Spain and your team. Okay, yeah. Blessed retirement, Leo Messi. God bless you for your great football playing all these years. Yeah, well said. Thank you for tuning in, Mary. Yeah, but if this is it for Leo Messi, yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you for a hell of a career, not just club football, but internationally as well too. You know, the first 10 years of his international career, it was not good. There was a lot of Argentinian fans that were writing him off, not compared to, like, were offended that they were comparing him to Maradona. But as the years kicked on, and when Argentina won their first, I think it was the 2020 Copa America, when they won their first title, and of course, they win the World Cup in 2022. Now all of a sudden, the legacy is cemented, if you will. The interesting thing is that I have no idea what his plan is going to be. He signed through the 27-28 season in Major League Soccer. And, would it surprise me if he signs on for like another year and just goes year by year? Maybe he decides that, at 41, 42, that he still can compete at a high level. Who knows? My guess is that he's ready to drift into the sun. Like, he will play out the remaining years in Major League Soccer. And, he's so essentially, as it stands right now, that he is signed through the 27-28 season, which would lead him into Copa America 2028. I can see him playing in that tournament, without a doubt. I can see him playing in the Copa 2028. But as far as 2 more years after that, I have no idea. But that being said, it's like you look at his, I think his first World Cup was in what, 2006. I think he made that 2006 squad. So I mean, he's been in 6 World Cups. Like, that in itself is an unbelievable legacy. If you not like great players, if they're lucky, they play in 4. You know what I mean? Like, if they're lucky, they'll play in 4. But that being said, it's like, at most it's usually like 3. 3 is like 12 years, and then that usually covers your prime. If you're lucky, you get to 4, and what we've seen with both Ronaldo and Messi is something that I don't see ever repeating again. Like, I remember, I think 2018 was Harry Kane's first World Cup with England, and this is his 3rd now, and who knows if he's going to make it to his 4th. Maybe. You never know. But again, great players, most get 3. If they're lucky, they'll get 4. But like, it's, you got to be absolutely crazy to think you're going to get 5 and 6. Like, it just doesn't necessarily happen like that. I think in our side of the world, I think the guy who had 5 was Rafa Marquez. He got 5 for Mexico, 2002, 2006, 10, 14, and 18, and then he retired after 18. You know what I mean? But that's just unbelievable. That's unbelievable. I think, what was it? Both Donovan and Dempsey had 3. And by the end of 2030, Pulisic will have 3. And it just, that's usually the way that it goes. But congratulations to Spain. Spain were the better team in every facet of the game today. Yes, this was not the classic. This was not your classic World Cup final. In many ways, this was kind of a little bit of a letdown compared to the tournament as a whole. I thought this was a tournament for the ages. And I'm not saying that because I'm American. I'm saying it's like, this World Cup had everything that you could have asked for. You had very good, young, scrappy teams that were creating headlines. You had upsets. You had big nations going out early. You had drama. The Flo Balogun rescinded suspension. That created drama. That had the entire world up in arms. This World Cup had everything that you wanted. You had teams that the people fell in love with, and it wasn't just here in the United States, right? It was great. It was also around the world. Scotland endeared itself to the United States. Norway endeared itself to the world. Cape Verde endeared himself to the world to the point where they get out of the groups, which was insane in itself. You had 9 African nations make it into the knockout rounds, which is something that's never happened before. So from that standpoint, this World Cup was great. To me, it was my favorite World Cup since 2014. But that being said, I was kind of hoping that this would cap off with with one of those 2 teams that are just getting after it. Up and down, just getting after it, just trading haymakers, and that wasn't it. Both teams Spain was ultra cautious on the attacking end. Like, it was something that I was a little surprised. Like, they were not taking risks at all. They were, if something was open, they're going to take it, but for the most part, yeah, they weren't going to risk much of being exposed in the back, and Argentina just literally had very little to show for themselves. Like, if this thing went into penalties, it would have been disrespectful. I'm glad that Spain was able to at least get one. And this is the funny thing, is Dawson Drew says this is absolutely embarrassing. Leo Messi is going to retire with losing a World Cup final. That being said, that's what kind of makes me think that he's going to take it one step at a time, because he signed through 27-28 with Miami, which leads him to Copa America 2028. And I would probably assume he's going to play that. And if he gets through that tournament and he feels like he can hang on for another 2 years, chances are he'll be at 2030. But that would be my guess. Like, he's going to play in Copa America 2028, and after that, who knows? But for me, at least, I feel like, if he still feels like he can, if he can hold on, then yeah, I would probably assume that he'll probably be there in 2030. It just depends. I mean, he has nothing, that's the thing. It's like he has nothing left to prove. Like, he's proved it all. But, I want to touch on Spain. I think a lot of teams were, a lot of fans were wondering. Some actually had Spain winning it, and if you were one of those guys, congratulations. I felt like they would run into a hurdle, and I thought that hurdle was going to be France in the semifinals. But credit to Spain. And they showed the reason why they're dominant. Not just today, this entire tournament. Like, they had that, the funny thing is when Germany beat up Curacao 7-1, Spain called off the dogs against Cape Verde. Because had they played full strength against Cape Verde, they would have destroyed Cape Verde. But, De La Fuente rotated for that match. And, what we ended up having was, I think a 0-0 draw. I mean, that in itself is actually very, very commendable from Cape Verde. But the reality was that Spain knew exactly what time it was in this World Cup. And it's not how you start, it's how you grow into the tournament. And for them, it was literally one step at a time. And once Spain got rolling, they can just absolutely kill you in many different ways on the pitch. And that's the thing. It's like they will literally just outpossess you to death. It's like a death by a zillion paper cuts. Like, that's the best way to describe Spain. And they just play their game, and it's unstoppable. This is the exact same Spain that we saw back from 2008 to 2012. Like, that era of dominance is now being replicated. And would it shock me if Spain won Euros in 2 years? No, not at all. Not at all. Coming up in World Cup 2030, who knows how that's going to play out, because they're not going there. There's a good chance that they won't have, they probably won't have Rodri. Who knows exactly who's gonna age out during these 4 years, but the bulk of their team will be back. They're still young enough, but some of their veteran leaders are going to be gone. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how they replace some of this leadership. But for the most part, would it surprise anybody if they came back in 2030 and made another trip to the finals? Probably not. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Congratulations to Spain. And again, congratulations to the world. I want to say that because this was the best part about this World Cup, where a lot of people had preconceived notions about the United States, like it was a dangerous place when you come here and all of a sudden you guys find yourself having such a great time. And that's what I liked about it. When I was in Seattle and I was hanging out with 200,000 Australian fans, they were fantastic, man. And that's what this World Cup, to me, that's what was the beauty of this World Cup, was yet another World Cup where everybody comes together to love the sport, to support their national teams, and to experience the spirit of football. And to me, that's what the World Cup is all about. It's not political. It's not any of that nonsense. It's just about the love for the sport, the love for your national teams, and also just meeting new people, man. And, I had a great time with those Australian fans out in Seattle, especially that one chick, you know who you are. But yeah, listen, I just feel like this World Cup it meant a lot to me because I got to see my national team play in my hometown. And I'm fortunate enough, there's a good chance that I might never see it again. But for me, this was one of the all-time World Cup moments, and I'm glad that I was alive to see it. And I'm glad that I was able to do a lot of these live streams with you guys as well too. And there's no animosity. It's funny, like when we were playing Australia and the world was rooting against us, when we were playing against Turkey, they were rooting against us, against Bosnia, and especially against that Belgium. There's no hard feelings, man. I wasn't upset. Was I talking trash? Yeah, of course I'm talking trash because I was feeling it in the moment. But at the end of the day, it's like, I have respect for other nations because they're absolutely great footballing nations. And there's a big reason why I root for England, because I'm a fan of the way that they play football. And I was really, really rooting for England. Not just against Mexico, but also against Norway and also against Argentina and against France. But the reality of it is like that's the beauty of the World Cup. And I'm glad that you guys that came to the United States, you guys enjoyed yourself. I'm glad you got to see our cities and see our stadiums. I'm glad that you guys had a great time. That makes me happy. And I can't wait for 2030 because I will be in Spain. I will definitely be in Spain, of course, doing the exact same thing, rooting on the U.S. men's national team, maybe also taking in a couple other games as well too. But man, I just want to say thank you guys. It's been fun. Some of you guys actually talked some of the best shit in the world, and it was fun. But congratulations one more time, and congratulations to you guys as well too. I'm extremely grateful that you guys tune out for these. So that's going to do it for me. Again, congratulations to Spain. We'll see you guys in 4 years, but I'll see you in a couple of days when I come back. But please remember to make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell as well too. If you guys are watching in on TikTok live, the link is in the description. You guys take care. Enjoy the rest of whatever weekend you have left. I hope you guys have a great start to your work week, and I'll see you in a few days. All right, guys, have a great night.
under fading skies. Tattered flags waving dreams in our